immensely fortunate to welcome you all on the fourth day of the 1 week FDP on a paradigm shift in teaching, learning, and evaluation organized by the IQAC and RFDC of Shri Aurobindo College of Commerce and Management. On behalf of the governing body of SACCM, our worthy principal Dr. Vishal Kumar, faculty members, and all the participants, I cordially welcome the eminent speaker of the day, Mr. Grish, who is a digital learning expert from IIM Bangalore. Before sharing the profile of our resource person, I would request the dynamic principal of our college, Dr. Vishal, to formally welcome the honorable guest. Vishal, sir.
Thank you, Minu ma'am. Mr. Grish, digital learning expert of IIM Bangalore, resource person of today's session, faculty members, and dear participants, a very good morning to all of you. We have reached in the middle of our 1 week faculty development program, and I appreciate your keen interest in learning new technologies for your effective teaching. So today's topic of discussion is learners engagement and assessment. I believe assessment plays an important role in the process of learning and motivation. Rather, it is an integral part of teaching and learning process. Researches show that students learn best when assessment are based on clear learning goals, and rather National Education Policy 2020 also recognizes the need of proper evaluation with respect to higher order skills like analysis, critical thinking, and conceptual clarity, which is indicating a shift in the focus of assessment. To know about the role of assessment in learners' engagement, we have amongst us a very renowned digital learning expert from IIM Bangalore, Mr. Girish. I met Mr. Girish 3 years back during a capacity building workshop organized by MHRD and was highly impressed with his in-depth knowledge about the subject. On behalf of Shri Aurobindo College of Commerce and Management, I welcome you, sir, and hope that the participants will learn from your new techniques of assessment to engage their learners and implement it in their day-to-day teaching practices. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Mino.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your kind words. The eminent speaker, Mr. Girish, he's associated with digital learning program of IIM Bangalore since 7 years. He has a working experience both in industry and academics. He has been in online and distance learning space since more than 12 years. His expertise is in digital learning programs, education technology, MOOC production, project management, online and blended learning program management, learning design, and content development. Mr. Grish has worked in companies such as Bosch, HCL Technologies, Tata Group, and Manipal Education before joining IIM Bangalore. His area of research is online learning and MOOCs. We welcome you all, Girish sir.
Thank you, Dr. Minu, and thank you, Dr. Vishal. I highly appreciate. I was going through the sessions of the previous 3 days, and I must say that it is a wonderful program. And in fact, they have covered the entire spectrum of the modern day online teaching. So thank you so much for having me here, sir.
For the participants, I just want to convey, if you have any of the queries, you may please write in the chat box. Over to you, Girish sir.
Thank you, Dr. Minu, and thank you, Dr. Vishal. Um, so. Uh, So we will start now. So what I would like to do is I would like to have a recap of the previous learning. And as I said, I highly appreciate the efforts of Dr. Vishal and his team for conducting this FDP and amazing sessions by all the three experts in the last 3 days. So what I'm trying to do is let me not cover the theory part, because I think all the theory part and the strategies and the ways have already been covered. So today we'll try to do something more practical. We will see some of the tools that they have already mentioned. So let me share my screen, and please let me know if my if I'm audible or not, and if you are having some trouble with listening, hearing me, please let me know. Am I audible? Is my voice clear?
Very clear, Grishi.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, just give me a second. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, thank you so much. So today we will talk about learner engagement and assessments. In fact, I wanted to talk more about assessments, but then I realized that the many of the concepts have already been covered in the previous by the previous experts. So we will mainly cover the learner engagement part today. And before moving further, so what I would like to do is let's have a quick recap. Um, so you're able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we will do is we will go to first something called menti.com, and I want all the participants to go to menti.com. Once you go there, there is a space for you to type the code. I want you to type this code. Okay, 572777078. So simple, you don't have to type the entire HTTPS and all. Just type menti.com, automatically it will come. If you want, I will show you here. Just type menti.com and then type this code. Okay, and click on submit. That's all you have to do. And there is a question and you have to answer. Okay, so let's do that. I'll show the screen once again. Are you able to see this screen? Can you all do this?
Yeah.
Just go to menti.com and type this code. If you're having trouble with going to menti.com, please let me know. I'm assuming that all of you are able to, go to that website and type the code.
Vijay is there.
Ji, sir.
Vijay, let the chat should be open to everyone
Okay. Sir,
because
chat is already open for
yeah,
all.
please chat should be open to everyone so that everyone should communicate with the Grish.
Is anybody having problem with going to menti.com and typing the code? I am assuming that you're able to do that. You can just mention in the chat that it's done. So we will I'll wait for another 10-20 seconds. So I see some 11 people have actually provided the response, 12 people. If you want to, you can actually see the screen that I'm sharing. You can see the responses also. Okay, out of 50 plus, I think I got some 16 responses. I think that is fine. Those who are doing, please submit it. So in this um, mentee.com, what I did was I just asked one simple question, that is, mention 1 or 2 topics covered in the last 3 days. And I could see responses like outcome-based course plan, learning techniques, active learning. Most of them have mentioned active learning, which was kind of taken by Dr. Samir. Um, yes, effective online teaching. Rubrics is something taken by Dr. Tejendra Pal. Blended learning. You are able to see my screen, right? The responses, 20 responses I have got.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Outcome-based course plan. Okay, I think we can stop here. Thanks so much for providing this, um, you know, the recap of what you have learned in the last 3 days. Now I have another question. What you have to do is you can close this window, the mentee.com, and again go back to mentee.com and um, type another code. So let me stop this. Are you able to see this? I hope you are able to see this. Can you just give your responses? All that you have to do is use the code 57776633. 57776633. You just have to go to mentee.com and type the code 57776633 and just answer the MCQ. So those who have completed, you can actually see my screen. As and when the responses are typed, I can actually see how many are interested in what. Can I get one response? Can one of you just unmute and see, tell me whether are you able to see those responses that is changing in my screen?
Yes, sir. The number is changing.
It's changing, yeah. So we'll wait for
Presently, it is
another.
yeah. Presently,
Correct.
it's for on classroom teaching 4 people have
Yeah.
responded and 19 for the mix of the classroom and online.
Okay. So we have got some 25
Now,
responses. That is great. It's a very interesting poll, actually. You can see that nobody's interested in only doing online teaching. So that's very interesting. And most, I think 80% of you are interested in doing a mix of online and classroom teaching. That's an amazing thing. So let's wait for another 10 seconds and then we'll move forward. Okay, I think we can stop here. So we have got some 26 responses. As you can see from my screen, I have asked 3 questions: whether do you like only online, or do you like classroom, or you like a mix of both. I think most of them, 80 to 90%, are interested in having a mix of both classroom and online. Even though there is COVID this time, and many people are not able to go to classroom because of raising cases, I see that there's a huge interest in teaching through in classroom. So that's commendable. So let's move forward. So I have another question here. You can see my screen, right? Do you think from now onwards or since COVID started, can teaching be done without using technology? So for this, you don't have to go to menti.com. You can just mention in the chat window itself. So I repeat the question, do you think from now onwards or since COVID started, can teaching be done completely without using technology at all? So you can just chat in the window, in the chat window. So let's see. Okay. Okay, I think it's a it's a single answer from all of you telling that yeah, you cannot ignore technology. That's correct. I completely agree with all of you. I think most of you have given the same response. You can see my screen on the chat that everybody is telling the same. In fact, yeah, Dr. Shifali has mentioned that it has created a trend. We can't we can't teach without using technology or with by ignoring technology we can't. So let's move forward now. So the reason I wanted to have this kind of recap is because uh, I feel that most of what we are going to see today is kind of an extension of what has already been spoken in the last 3 days. As I mentioned, they have kind of covered the entire spectrum of online learning, blended learning, and outcome-based education. So we will see some of the tools. So the second thing is I thought that some of you for this particular question, that is, do you think from now on you can teach without technology? I thought there might be some people who might tell that okay, yes, you can teach without technology. But I see that all of you have mentioned no, which is kind of practical in today's world. But I also feel that maybe in some areas of the world, maybe in some remote village in Africa or remote village in some area of the world, there there might be still some teaching going on where the teachers might be still using only blackboard. So I think there might be some cases, but at the same time there is also the use of technology slowly coming there as well. Some of them, some social organizations or NGOs might be investing some technology to help the learners even in such remote areas. So uh, so that's something that I wanted all of you to take away, that is we have no option but to use technology. So I want to kind of show something related to the recap. So that's called as Jamboard. Are you able to see this? I can just get one or two response. You can just say yes. You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, it's visible.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is called as Jamboard. So what we saw before was an online tool called Mentimeter. Okay, so we'll talk about that little later. So that's a collaborative tool where you can get responses from your students. They don't even have to log in. So you saw that you just typed menti.com and you just give responses. Similarly, there are many other online tools. We will see that slightly in depth, but I just wanted to show you some recap of the previous three sessions. On the first day, Dr. Srinivas spoke about blended learning a lot. He spoke about various aspects of online learning, blended learning, and he listed out a lot of tools. So that is what I have mentioned in the recap. And he in fact told one important point, and that is teachers and faculties are supreme. Yes, technology is there that will only facilitate, but unless you involve uh, it has, it has no value. Only technology don't have any value unless you as faculty are highly involved. Whether it is asynchronous learning or whether it is synchronous learning, you as faculty's involvement is, definitely a must. So that's why he stressed on that, phrase called faculty are supreme or teachers are supreme. So I agree with that. So that was the outcome, that was the takeaway from his session. If we move to the next session, which was taken by Dr. Samir, he spoke about a lot of things about active learning. So he introduced what active learning is. He gave a definition of what active learning is. He also spoke about some strategies related to active learning. Like, for example, think, pair, share. He spoke about what peer instruction is. He showed some video also explaining what peer instruction is and how important and critical is peer instructions. And finally, we can say that the takeaway from that particular session is that it's not just about what we taught to students, it's about what we learned together as a team, or together as a students and teachers put together what we learned. It's not just about one-sided interaction or one-sided conversation, I mean one-sided interaction. So it's all about more of interactive things. So that's why we can tell that it's what we learned and not what we taught. So in yesterday's session, I think it was yesterday's, it was taken by Dr. Tejendra Pal. So he spoke about outcome-based education or outcome-based learning. He spoke about what are the course objectives, how do you link the assessments with the course objectives. He spoke about various aspects of outcome-based teaching learning. He also spoke about two important points, that is Bloom's taxonomy, which is very important when you are especially into asynchronous learning. Not that in synchronous learning you will not use, you will use it, but subconsciously you will use it. But in asynchronous learning, it is even more inevitable. Okay. And finally, he also spoke a little bit about the rubrics. So my question to you is, this is a statement. We will try to continue and build on what we learned now. So I have one question. I'll come back to slide here. So before we move to the learner engagement, so I would like to little bit tell about this synchronous and asynchronous learning. So asynchronous learning, as you can see from my slide, it has it has some advantages. For example, it can be easily shareable. It has some self-paced. It is self-paced and it is quite flexible. It is device independent. It's kind of cost effective also, but it comes with its own disadvantage. For example, it requires too much of planning. It requires a lot of self-discipline. And one biggest disadvantage of asynchronous learning is um, after some years, whatever content or the whatever course that you have created, it may become kind of stale, or it might become little old. So you have to keep on updating that. So that requires some time and effort. So that is about advantages and disadvantage of asynchronous learning. So when it comes to synchronous learning, it has its own advantage. For example, there is a human touch or human element. There is live interaction that's happening, and you can actually see the body language of students and see whether they're interested or not. And faculty can actually check the understanding. So these are some of the advantages of synchronous learning. So, but it also has certain disadvantage compared to asynchronous. For example, it requires fast internet at any point of time. So, and it can be inconvenient in some time zones. For example, if you are teaching for somebody who is in other part of the world, so there will be some difference in the time zone, and that can be kind of a inconvenience. So this is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous in, when it comes to advantages and disadvantages. So a mix of something, these two is blended learning. I will not go in depth because it's already been covered by Dr. Srinivas. So, but some features I would like to explain. That is, it has the advantage that it is dynamic, it is convenient, and it's somewhat cost effective. And It requires certain careful planning, but it will definitely give a better result compared to just asynchronous or just synchronous. Okay, and the third feature is that you can actually mix the videos and other e-learning components, and you can actually mesh in a very well planned way to come up with a, you can plan and mix it with the classroom teaching. So in fact, you all agreed that you like having a mix of online learning and classroom learning. So that actually this kind of supports that. So we will move ahead and we will talk about what learner engagement is. So before we go in depth of what learner engagement, I would like you to tell me the difference between what is learner engagement and what is learning experience. You can see my slide, right? So can you just tell me what is the difference? You can mention it in the chat window itself. Tell me the difference between learner engagement and learning experience. You can give your comments on chat. Are you all able to hear me? Can you? Okay, so I'm getting slowly one or two responses. Can I get some more responses? What is the difference between learner engagement and learning experience? There's only one response. Okay, Dr. Sarita is telling learner engagement is engaging learning in the learner in the learning process, whereas learning experience is what we have learned out of it. Okay. Dr. Ashish is telling how much learners are participating during the class in learner engagement, while how much they have actually learned is the actual experience. Okay. Dr. Gupta is telling engagement is cause and experience is outcome. That's a very interesting statement. Okay, Dr. Amarjit is telling learner engagement is when the learners are themselves involved in teaching learning process, while learning experience is how they felt and what they learned while being involved in the process. Okay, I agree. Okay, learner engagement is involvement. That's true. Learner engagement is cause and experience is effect. Okay, learner engagement is actively involving students while delivering a topic, whereas learning experience is inactive and mental absorption. Okay, so that's also an interesting and valid point. Learning experience is their takeaway. Okay, learners active participation. Okay, I think I got some very good responses. Learner engagement is getting learners participative in this teaching learning, and experience means what the outcome. What is the outcome of learning? I think we have got good number of responses. Dr. Neeraj is telling learner engagement is means participating in learning activities. That's true. Learner engagement is learners participation in learning process. Experience is his or her own learning outcome. Okay. Okay, so we'll get back to the slides. I think we have got good responses. So let me go back to the slide. Yes, yes, what you all told is kind of correct. But let me put it in a more formal way. Learner engagement is a measure that reflects the quantity and quality of learners' participation in their courses. So you might have understood about active learning when Dr. Samir explained about active learning and various aspects of that. It is the same. So learner engagement has to do with the participation either in the classroom or in the online mode. And the biggest feature or advantage of having a better learner engagement is it's only the engaged learners who are inspired, who are motivated, and they are willing to invest effort in learning, invest their time and effort. If learners are disengaged, obviously you will not see any kind of interest or kind of motivation to learn. So whereas learning experience on other hand is a combination of various experiences. Okay, so it is a wide variety of experiences which actually transforms the perception of the learner. It helps in understanding, it supports growth in terms of knowledge and emotional, it facilitates understanding, and it also nurtures the acquisition of skills, whether it is skills or knowledge or whether it is attitude. So to kind of summarize in one simple phrase, I would say that its learning experience is generally, we when we say learning experience, generally we talk about the entire course experience, whether it is online course or whether it is a blended learning course or blended learning program, or whether it is a classroom experience. For example, we talk about learning experience of a course. So that's why you see the ratings of a course when you take a MOOC. Before taking a MOOC, you might have observed the ratings for a course, right? How do they do ratings? Other learners rate the course based on their learning experience of the entire course. So uh, the combination of various learner engagement activities and other various learning experience put together forms a learning experience. Maybe you can consider learning experience as the entire bigger umbrella, whereas learner engagement is parts of each parts of the entire process. So let's move forward. So why learner engagement is critical? Yeah, we have already discussed that. One is that if if there is no learner engagement, suppose say you keep on talking for 3 hours, so there obviously there is something called cognitive load. Okay, the cognitive load becomes heavy, and there's only a certain only very few things memory can hold, so it becomes a load, and that is one reason we should always engage learners so that that cognitive load is not heavy. The second thing is it becomes boring after a certain point, right? It becomes boring, it can become very confused. For example, if you're speaking for 3 hours continuously, the learner who is there from 0th minute to the third no, to the entire 3 hours, he or she would have forgotten whatever is being taught in the first 1 hour or first half an hour. So it's natural human thing. So it's forgetting is not something is one. So that is one reason, and a second reason why we have to engage learners. So 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 moving forward, learner engagement, I would say that it has three components. One is content, one is delivery, and one is service. So faculty is kind of in charge of all the three components of this learner engagement. One is content, delivery, and service. Faculty, he or she is accountable as well as responsible. In 90% of the cases, this is how the situation is in it's not only in India, everywhere. Content, delivery, and service. So what content is. That is whatever learning materials that you provide, whatever the lesson plan that you provide, whatever assessments that you provide, all that comes as part of the content. What is delivery? Delivery is what you actually deliver in the class. That is, it can be a video lecture, or it can be a classroom lecture, or it can be any other mode of delivery. So that is a delivery component. Can somebody tell me what is service? In the chat, you can actually mention what is the service that faculty provides. Content you understood, delivery you understood. You tell me what is service. I want some responses for this. This is a very interesting thing. So I'll just show the slide once again. It learner engagement has three parts: content, delivery, and service. Tell me what is the service that faculty provides to the stakeholders, which is which are learners or students. Okay, responses to doubts and question. Yes, that's correct. Handling learners inquisitability. Yes, that is true. That is, yeah. Query handling. Motivation for future. Yes, that's an interesting thing. Okay, any more responses? Facilitating learning process. Okay, yes, that is true. Clarity. Dr. Minu, you can actually kind of elaborate on that. You mentioned clarity. So I kind of understood that, but you can kind of elaborate on what does clarity means, how it is a service. Dr. Pooja Jain is telling after the delivery of the lecture could be doubt solving or providing additional materials. Yes, that's true. Okay, approach towards learning. Approach towards clearing learner doubts. Yes, it's true. Another 2-3 more responses, and then we will see what services comprise. Can we get another few responses? Okay. Creating proper understanding and ability to apply knowledge. Yes, that's true. Clarity and understanding as per the audience. Okay, I got it. Okay, so I kind of got some responses. I think all these are correct. Whatever you have told is correct, but you have missed one, maybe one simple aspect of service. Okay, Dr. Neeraj is telling services means extra efforts. Not just extra efforts, there are some inevitable efforts also. Okay, extra efforts is yes, that is part of service. Yes, effective teaching. Okay, quality. Yes, that is true. Okay, so let me get back to this. So whatever you have gave, whatever responses that you gave, that is all correct. No services include clarifying doubts. There are two other things that are important. That is communication. So when you communicate clearly, okay, next week we are having an exam, or next week we are having a test. So that communication is part of the service. Or when, or if it is an online course, or I mean asynchronous course, when you make an announcement in the course page, so that is part of the service. That is not part of the content or the delivery, but that's part of service. And an important part of service is you are evaluating the students' performance. That's the biggest part of service. In fact, I think many of you have missed that part. Evaluation of the answer sheets, that is service, right? So that is part of service. So that is not part of the content, that's not part of the delivery, that's part of the service. So all three aspects are taken care by faculty in most cases, especially when it comes to classroom teaching, or when it comes to teaching online, by faculty alone. So, but having said that, if you are doing something on asynchronous learning, it's not just the faculty, but there is also a team that is involved. So we will see what is that. Who are those, who are those involved in teams? You can see that content is taken by somebody called instructional designers and content developers. So they are directly responsible for content. See, faculty is anyway responsible and accountable for content delivery and service. In addition to that, IDs, that is instructional designers and content developers, they will be directly responsible for the content, but they have a dotted line responsibility for delivery. That means they might be responsible for delivery, but not as much as faculty. Okay, we have another set of team members. They are course teaching assistants and program administrators. So what do? Course teaching assistants, they are, yes, To some extent, they are responsible for delivery, but they are mainly responsible for service. For example, they are the ones who are going to make an announcement in the course telling that, okay, week 1 of content is released. I'm talking about asynchronous courses, for example, MOOCs, or whether it can be single private online courses. So these are the asynchronous courses where teaching assistants or other research associates, or if you are having them as the part of the team, they are going to deliver this service, while where they are going to make an announcement. They are going to clarify the doubts. They are going to answer queries related to administrations. For example, when is the exam? What kind of questions are given in the exam? These are the questions learners ask, and it is the course TAs who answer such questions. Okay, and there are program admins. Program admins take the responsibility of the entire program, so that's why they are part of the service. So you can see that course TAs, they are not involved in content at all. There might be in some cases faculty takes course TAs help also in the content development, but generally course TAs in many cases they are responsible for service and delivery only. But in but you can see from this slide that irrespective of whoever is the team, it is the faculty who takes in charge of all the three aspects, and that's why Dr. Srinivasan again and again he mentioned that faculty is supreme. So you can see from the slide that the team IDs and content developers, they're responsible for, they're both accountable and responsible for content, whereas they have a dotted line responsibility for delivery. Faculty is accountable and responsible for all the three aspects, and course TAs and program admins, they are accountable and responsible for service only, but they have a dotted line responsibility of delivery. So I have given some kind of chart here. It kind of summarizes. You can see that it goes from faculty to instructional designers to content developers to teaching assistants, program admin, finally departments and college. For example, let me talk about department and the college. The department is accountable for the content delivery and service. So, but they might not be responsible. So that means to say the department, as a whole, they might not be creating the content. The faculty is creating the content. The faculty is delivering, but but the accountability holds with not only faculty but also the department and the institute. Okay, so with this chart, I would like to pause for a moment, and I want to know whether you have any doubt in this particular slide, because this is a very important slide. And as I mentioned, um, in most cases, faculty takes the role of all other team members. Okay, so I'm going to stop this full screen mode, and you can let me know whether if you have any uh, doubts in this. You can raise your hand and you can actually ask question, or you can ask your question through chat. No questions on that?
In case any participant want to speak, they can raise hand. I'll give the mic permission.
Yes, please do that. You want me to show the slide? I'm just showing the slide here. Okay, I think we can move forward.
So one question is asked by Monica Sethi. In college setup, faculty is content designer, delivering and handling administrator part by themselves.
Yeah, that is true. That's true.
I think no question from the
No question. In
participants.
fact, this is something even I also told. In many cases, it is the faculty who takes up the other responsibilities also. it's not just delivery, but also designing delivery and other administrative part also. Yes, I agree with that. Okay, so no other questions, so we will move forward. So so I just wanted to give you a gist of the learner engagement part here. So let's see some of the learner engagement tool. You can, before we move forward, I want to know when should we have a break. In case if you're having a break, Dr. Vishal and Dr. Sanjay, you can let me know what time should we have a break.
सर ऐसे तो कोई ब्रेक नहीं है वैसे फिलहाल.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Then we will see. Okay, so maybe we can have a break after some time. So let's move forward. Okay, so now we will look at some of the tools. I mean, these tools in some cases in the previous speakers have also spoken. What are the various learner engagement tools? We already saw two tools now, and one is that Mentimeter, and second one is the Jamboard by Google. Okay, but again, we will see once again what is that. So what are the various kinds of tools that we have? The one is interactive learning materials. Second is quiz. Third is the discussions. Fourth is polls. Poll is something that you already saw again in the Mentimeter, this one. And fifth is a very important, I think, most missed and not most ignored thing, and that is simulation. And the last one is in video quiz. So these are the various learner engagement tools. We will see some examples. There are like many tools in each of these categories, but we will see a few examples in each category. So the first one is interactive learning. So what is interactive learning, and what are the tools that we have? So interactive learning means, say it can be when you're teaching through video, or whether you are sharing some content, whenever you collaborate with learner, and that is interactive learning. Okay, so Dr. Sami spoke about active learning. That is, he told that how students participation kind of increases the success rate of the course or the program. So interactive learning is something similar to that. We will see how we can collaborate with students. So I have given one example here, and this is called as OPIA, OPPIA. So if possible, what you can do is you can actually, so this is how it looks. What OPIA is means it's kind of mix of content plus some self-learning questions, and you can see some responses, automatic responses. I wouldn't say it's completely automatic. This is something that you have fed as a faculty. Okay, can you? I would like to share this in the chat. You can actually go to this link and attempt this. Okay, so let me mention this in the chat. Go to this link and can you just explore and let me know if you have any difficulty in exploring. It takes some 3-4 minutes. So in the meanwhile, I will also open this and I will be doing, you can also see that. But I would strongly suggest you to do it in your system. Just click on this link and try to explore this. So once you're done with this, please type in the chat window that you're done with it. Okay, I got one response. So once you complete it, please mention in the chat so that I know that you have completed that activity. Okay, link is not opening. Why? Dr. Veenu, maybe what you can do is, can you go to incognito window? So it actually works. You can try it in different browser if it is not working, because I can see that response that others are able to do it.
So there is no issue in the link. It is opening perfectly.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Veenu Verma, maybe you can just try using a different browser, maybe. Okay, I can see some responses. I'll just wait for another few seconds, and then I myself will actually will do the activity. So we will see together, and we will see what are the advantages and disadvantages of doing that. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your response. We'll wait for another 10 seconds and then we'll move forward. Okay, I think most of you have done. So let me also try that. You can actually see my screen. I'll open once again. So this is called OPIA. You're able to see my screen, right? So OPIA is an interactive tool where you can give the content part. This is the content part here. You can actually, this is a small paragraph that I have given, but you can actually have a very big paragraph. You can have images, and then at the end of that, for the self-assessment purpose, for the understanding, we say that check your understanding. So for understanding purpose, you can give some ungraded assessments like this, ungraded questions like this. For example, here I have given some paragraph and I have asked this question: online teaching requires dash preparation than classroom teaching, whether it is less, slightly less, more. So if I give wrong answer, for example, if I give very less, I'll get a response, automatic response. Think about it, or it may be something else. I, as a faculty, have fed this that it's the phrase that I have used. Just think about it. It can be anything else. For example, it can be no, incorrect answer, wrong answer. So I can attempt once more. If it is wrong again, I will get the same response. It can be a different response. So and it also shows the previous response here. You can see this response, right? You can see the previous response here. And then now if I give the correct answer, I will get a some kind of a motivational this one. Yes, that is right. Well done. You can give such motivation no response. But here I have given yes, that is right. I have given some explanation for why it is correct. Okay, I can click on continue. I will have few more. I can have few more such content and this one self-assessment. For example, here it says today's learners learn from various sources. They might not depend on only one source. So let's check the different ways the individual learns. Individuals learn through online. So what are the various ways they learn? So in this, I see that this is not correct because this is an in-person interaction. Okay, and reading the physical book is not online. Okay, so how are they learning online? This is correct, this is correct, this is correct. And taking a blended learning program is also correct. So I will click on submit and I'll get this feedback. Great work, keep it up. And you can continue. So this is a feedback I as a faculty has provided, and this is what students will be able to see. Okay, so I'll click on continue. The same thing. So let us know, I've given some paragraph and given some test here. Some of the MOOC providers, who are the MOOC providers here? I will click on this. I think all are MOOC providers. I will select. So again, I get a response. So this is something that you can also create. It is, it's kind of a free tool. I just, did not pay for this. This is OPPIA. You can note it down, or you can store, share, save that link that I have, provided in the chat window. There's another exam question here. Okay. Okay, so once it is done, I'll get the final, the final statement, or telling that okay, congratulations, you have finished. So this is an interactive tool. You can actually try it. It's quite easy to do it. Um, so let me try to show. Let me see if it is possible to show how it is done. You're able to see this screen, right? So here I have already logged in. Okay, I can go to my dashboard, something called, it's called as creator dashboard, and it's called as create exploration. So when I click on create exploration, it will give me options to create whatever I want. So based on your subject, you can create, like for example, if it is say related to marketing. Okay, so you can create something here. Okay, so it's an introduction to marketing, and you can just, this is just for demonstration purpose. I'm just giving one sentence here, but you can give an entire paragraph. I'll add interaction here. For example, say I will give multiple choice. Okay, I'll ask questions like sales and marketing are one and the same. Say state true or false. I'm just giving some this one. Save interaction. Okay, I have to add the answers here. So it is true, it is false, and then I can click on save interactions. Okay, at least 4 choices. Sorry. Okay, so it has, I have to give 4 choice. So I'll do one thing. I'll give 2 statements. Of, I'll give some statement true or false. Okay, so statement 1 is true, statement 2 is also true. True, 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 false. Then I have to give 2 more, it seems. False, true, and the last one is false, false. Okay, I will click on save interaction. Okay, so you saw the responses, right, when you were working on the activity. So this is where it says, for example, OPR tells a learner for this one, if it is related to whether it is true or true and true. So if it is the first option, what answer you want to give, you can just mention it is incorrect. Okay, and if it is false and false, you can mention great work. So this is the kind of interaction you can add, and you can click on save response. So this is how, see, this is what you have created, and this is how you can create for every page. So here I have clicked on one page, but you can click as many pages as you want. So in the activity that we did, we saw that at least 3 to 4 pages were there. So you can have multiple pages, and you can click on publish. You can see on top there is something called publish button. Okay, so that's how you create exploration or an interactive thing, and you can share it with learners. It's fun to learn this way. Um, that's what I feel. So this is how you create an exploration in OPR. So any doubt in this? maybe one of you can actually, mention it. I mean, till now, whatever we have spoken, you can just tell whether, you, for example, this OPR thing, how did you find the OPR activity? You can just tell me. Dr. Monica, can you are asking, can questions be shuffled for different quest students? I think that is not possible. Yeah. So I'm sorry. It's only I'm only speaking from past 1 hour. Maybe if somebody can, provide response uh, over voice, it will be very nice. Can one of you just tell something about the activity or tell something about till whatever we have covered? You can raise your hand and they will enable the unmute thing.
Participant can raise the hand.
Yeah, if anybody has any kind of feedback till now whatever we have done, so it would be nice to hear, because uh, as we have seen that if there is no response from other side, I mean, I know that there is a response through chat. I can I can see that, but it will be nice for me to listen to some voice. Some feedback. Okay, Dr. Sanjay, you're asking whether can we see the report of questions asked in OPA? I think it is possible. So I have not seen the report, but I think the report is possible. There might be some paid option also. So maybe if there is a paid option and they might have some additional features where you can get some reports. I think that's possible, but we'll have to explore and see. I have not explored the report part.
Dr.
Excuse me,
Pooja,
sir.
you may ask.
Yes, yes, please tell me.
Excuse me, sir. I wish to ask one thing. I am
Mhm.
using Kahoot quiz as a tool in my class. I used to
Okay,
check. Yes. So there they are giving the report in form of that the comparison also, that who is answering well, who is answering in time, and
correct.
the score that is going. That gives very good incentive to students, and they are very much motivated to participate. Rather
Okay,
everyone. But what
okay,
about
okay.
over here? When the questions are being sent, I think these are personal. For example,
Mhm.
when I was answering alone, and the answer, your marking was sent to me that I haven't
Mhm.
marked all the answer of online teaching tools. So it was one to one, something like that. Uh,
Yeah.
so we can't use it for collaborative mode over here, I think, in OPIA.
No, no,
Can
you
we
can
use
use
it?
for collaborative. Yeah, I mean collaborative in the sense you can share the link like how we shared, and it can be more for an ungraded questions. Okay, it cannot be used for grading purpose. This is more like learning through fun. This particular tool I'm telling. So we will see more serious tools little later. But this one, I think it's more to do with learning through some kind of fun activity or some kind of a interaction, just to ensure that learners don't get bored by seeing the same kind of learning method. For example, if you are
Right.
only having continuous lectures, or if you are asking them to read some 20 pages, you know
Yes, sir.
there is a chance of they getting bored, or they getting the learners getting little carried away by
Sir, problem which I face is this is good to judge the theory part, that whatever, but
correct,
in
correct.
our,
Yes,
but we are having numericals in tax, in cost accounts, in
correct, correct.
the. So, is there any tool for that
Yes,
also?
yes, yes. I'll
And
come to that in my
that-
next few
so that's
slides. We will
main.
talk about that.
Thank you.
Yes, yes,
Thanks a lot.
absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely. Whatever you told is correct. There will be accounting and other things. We will see more tools there. So this is, just to begin with, if you want to have some kind of a fun interaction, learning through fun, or, have some kind of engagement. So this is mainly for the ungraded purpose only, and it is not for serious grading part. Okay, but you can explore. I have not explored the report part. Maybe you can actually, create a free account and then you can see whether there's a report option, report generation option. Okay, so the reason I have told this is because this particular tool, I have used it in MOOCs. When we were designing MOOCs, I have used it in 2-3 places, and this was very well integrated with the learning management system. So it can be done in, used, this kind of tool can be used in two modes. One is you can actually create it as a standalone thing like how we did now without integrating with learning management system. But with learning management system also you can integrate. For example, we use something called edx.org. So there we have integrated and it integrates very well and it's kind of fun for the MOOC learners. Okay.
Thanks a lot, Ji. Thank you.
Yeah, so we will see some more serious tools a little later. So let me go forward. So the second tool that I kind of thought of sharing with you is something called Miro. Okay, so this is also a collaborative tool. So let us see how it works. Let me share my screen. You're able to see my screen, right? So this is called Miro.com. So what it has is it has different templates that can be used. Okay, so you are all using, you're all subject matter experts in different domains, and this tool provides, various options or various templates for different kind of subjects. For example, let me click on show template. So you can see that, it has some tools for strategy and planning. It has tools for research and design. Okay, it has tools for agile workflows, brainstorming, um, for various, various kind of activities and some kind of task creations. You have templates. For example, so let me show some example here. Suppose say you want to create a flow chart. You can actually click on this and you can share it with your learners. So let me use this. Okay, let me not go with flow chart. Let me show something else. Mm. Okay, so we can use this fishbone diagram. Okay, so you might have heard of this fishbone diagram, right? So it kind of helps in knowing the root cause of the problem. So let's use this pre-filled one. So this is kind of a collaborative thing. Okay, and I can enlarge this. So there are some pre-filled thing. If you want, you can use the fresh template without pre-filled one, and you can ask your learners to create this fishbone diagram in this Miro.com, Miro.com.app. And for example, if this is a root cause fishbone diagram, so you might want to know the main cause of and the sub causes. For example, there might be some problem in the organization. What are the various major causes and what are the sub causes? So you can say, for example, I'll click on this. I can change this. People is one problem. So let me increase the height, increase the size of this. And under people, what might be the problem? Attrition rate might be a problem. So a lot of people leaving the organization is a problem. Okay, so you can mention this attrition rate. Okay, so this is something you as a faculty can create and you can share it with learners. For example, I will click on this share button. Okay, and I will invite the learners. Say, for example, in this case, I will invite myself. I kind of have another Gmail account. Let me invite. When I click on send invitation, I will go to my Gmail. Okay, let me refresh this page. So I think it takes some time to receive. Okay, I think it is taking some time because of the internet. So, but let me show the one which I've already saw. So this is my student account. I'll click on go to board and I'll go to this. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me show both the screens together. Okay, on the right hand side, you see the what you're seeing here is the faculty view. On the left hand, left side, you can see the learner view or the student view. So suppose say you ask the student to type something. Say for example, here the student types. I'll come to student here and I will type say what might be the other problem. Attrition rate is one problem and um, COVID might be one more problem. COVID is the reason why there might be some people problem in the organization. The student types this and you can actually see what is happening here in the as a faculty, right? You can see that the student has typed here. You can see both the views here. So like this, you can share the various templates that is provided, or if you don't want to use the template, that is also fine. There's a fresh template that the fresh lesson that you can only create and you can actually share it with the students. And this can be a very good collaborative tool. In fact, you can share it with all the students and they will be able to type and you can actually see here, and whatever you have typed they will be able to see here. In fact, you can see this here, right? The student is able to see what is typed by the faculty, right? So this is how we can work on something called Miro. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's one thing. You have any did you understand the this ones? So you want to, so I'll share the slides only so that if you want I can share the link of this. Okay, so any doubts with respect to these two tools, Miro and the previous one? You can ask if you have any doubts when it comes to this particular tool. Sir, can we copy flowchart in the Word? I think it's possible. If not in the Word, but they have provided some other way of sharing. So for example, so you can see that note here. Sorry, this is not the one, this one. Yeah, you can see that export this board. I think this is has to do with exporting. Yeah, you can save as PDF. See, you can save as PDF or image, but they have not given the option of saving as a Word. Okay, so you can save as PDF. So I'm clicking on save as PDF and then I can go ahead. I think that answers your question. Any other doubt? Any other questions on this? Okay, so let's move forward. So this is one tool. So let's see what other tools that we can explore. Miro is one thing, and Jamboard is something that you already saw. So we saw that the recap, right? So that is really useful, and it's kind of very simple way to create this one. So this is the Jamboard. We saw this as soon as we started this session. So we saw the recap. So how do we create this? It's kind of easy. So let me open a new Jamboard. Okay, I think it's not. I have to.
So there is a query from Dr. Mino Singla. She
Mm-hmm.
is asking, we have to invite student through Gmail only as link shared is not
No.
working until.
Uh, See, there are some tools, some online tools which are created by Google, but not necessary that it has to be through Gmail. Uh, uh, Gmail is preferable, but not necessary that it has to be, Gmail only. In fact, whatever I am creating here, like the tools that I have created, whether it is Jamboard or the Miro, that I have created using a different, this one account. For example, if you see here, I have used Outlook.com. I have not created a this one, but I have a Google account of this Outlook.com. So it's not necessary that it has to be, uh, Gmail only. Okay, so let's check that why this.
So one thing I want to add is while
Mm-hmm,
we were using these Opia and other apps, when you
mm-hmm,
are sharing the link, we can directly respond to that thing. But in this
mm-hmm,
Miro.com, we have
mm-hmm.
to just create an account and only then we can see. Or
Yes.
otherwise, if
That is
an invitation is there, then only we can do it.
correct. So in many cases, what you said is right. In many cases, you will have to create an account. So I have tried my level best to show only those online learning tools where you can create a free account. In many cases, what happens is you can create account and they will give access only for 30 days or 60 days, and after that you will have to pay. But there are some tools which are kind of free, so only those tools that I'm actually trying to show. I don't know why I'm not able to show this. Let me use this. Okay, so this is the Jamboard that I was talking about. Okay, so we saw this actually, through when we did the recap. If you want to create, you can just create one more and you can actually share it with anybody. For example, so this one, this Jamboard, let me try to share. I can click on share button and then I can, I can give the, I can actually share it with learners. So this has already been shared. I've already shared here. So if you have any, I can, provide the list of emails and I can then click on done. So it will go to the that respective learner. Okay, so that's how you actually can share the Jamboard. So let's move forward. So these are some of the interactive tools. So there are like tens of tools. I have just shown 2 to 3 tools here. So the next is the quiz part. So that's the next learner engagement tool. Quiz also, there are like hundreds of online tools, but I kind of like this this online tool. It's called as Quizzes. QUIZIZZ. Okay, so maybe what you can do is something similar to menti.com. Can you do this? Type joinmyquiz.com and type this code. Can you try this later? I will also try. Can you try this? I'm just putting it on a full screen mode. Just go to URL, type joinmyquiz.com, enter the code, and there are some simple 6 to 7 questions. I mean, it is related to some course, but you don't have to worry. You can, you can give some answer. Even if it is wrong, it is fine. Can you just go to this and let me know you are able to access or not?
Yes, sir, it's accessible. The
Yeah.
window is
Okay.
open.
Okay, great. Anybody wants to share the screen, you can do that. Can anybody share the screen opening that quiz, this one? Joinmyquiz.com and you have to enter the code 0860. I'll type this on the chat also. Sorry.
Do you want to share the
Yeah.
screen? Then
Yeah.
your won't be visible.
Yeah. Can anyone?
Yeah.
Can one of you share the screen so that
Is it
Yeah.
visible?
Yes. It is visible. It is visible. Can you go ahead, answer the questions? You can give some answers. This is just for demonstration purpose only, and I think there are some 5 to 6 this one. So if
Okay.
the answer is incorrect, it will say answer incorrect. Yeah, you can move ahead. Okay, you can go to the next question. Okay, I think all the questions are over, or maybe one or sixth question. No? Okay, you have 2 more questions, I think. Okay, I think, yeah, last question. No? Yes, 7 out of 7. Okay, so as you have seen here, so this is kind of a very interesting and fun way to conduct quiz. Uh, so it is called as QUIZIZZ, quizzes.com. So you can, it's a very easy way to create questions. Let me show you how to create those questions. So I'll come to this. Okay, so I'll show you where this is my account. You can actually go ahead and create an account here. It's free. Okay, and I'll
Sir,
go to the
are these codes automatically created like in Mentimeter also you are showing us some codes and then we are entering into that?
Yes, absolutely. It is automatically created. I have not given this code. It was created by the tool.
So once the question is being entered and then it is being converted into a code, isn't it?
Yeah, so once the assessment is done, once the activity is done, it automatically creates this one code, and you can share this code like how I have
Right.
shared with all of you. Okay,
Okay,
so
sir.
we will see how to create that. See, for example, the one quiz that I shared was research methodology fundamentals. I can actually
Sir, we
create
cannot see the screen right now.
You're not able to see, is it? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Are you able to see now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so this is the quizzes.com tool, and I have created a free account here. There might be some paid account also. You can actually explore that. So this research methodology fundamental is the quiz, simple quiz only for the demonstration purpose. I showed it to you. So you can create, for example, left hand side, you can see something called create. I'll click on create. You can create lesson also, you can create quiz also. There are in lessons, there are some templates. You can explore that which are the lessons. If you feel that some of the lessons are related to your subject, you can go ahead, or else you can create a new lesson completely from scratch. So I will click on new quiz and I will give some say for example I'll type FDP on online learning. Okay, I will select say instructional technology education and I'll click on next. You can see how easy it is to create question. So if you want to create a multiple choice, just click on multiple choice and type whatever questions you want to ask. Say for example, which of these is MOOC provider, or yeah. So I'll just type some answer here. Coursera, edX. Okay, if you don't want, if you want only this one, say if you want only 3 options, you can do that. You can just delete this. It's quite simple. If you want multiple options, you can do that also. Okay, so there might be some options somewhere. You'll have to search that. So as of now, okay, so here let me see. Okay, so that option, I will have to figure out where that option is. Okay, as of now, let's assume that only the first one is correct. So I'll click on first one and then I will click on save. Okay. So this is how easy it is to create a question. You can add more questions by clicking on this. If you don't want, say for example, cancel it. If you want to create a poll in addition to question, if you want to create a poll, you can do that. There are other types of questions that you can create. For example, there is open-ended question. You can click here and you can ask questions like, uh, what is the ideal number of learners or say students for online teaching? Okay. This is an open-ended question. You can ask this as a part of the assessment. So this is question 1, question 2. If you want to edit, you can click on edit and edit the question if you feel that there is something wrong with the question. So this is how you can create questions, and you saw how how it looks from a student point of view, and you can, as usual, you can share. Once you are done with it, you can click on save button. Okay, you can add a title image if you want. Otherwise, you can just you can select the other options available. Like for example, it's for university, whether it is for public or for private, and you can click on save. Okay, so that is how you create assessments in this quizzes.com. Okay, so you can see all the quiz that I have created. For example, the one which you saw earlier was research methodology fundamentals. That was one quiz. The one which I created right now is FDP on online learning. So this is how easy it is to create questions. So any doubt with this tool?
Sir, once you finish with this creation, then is it a link will be created or that this code
No, you can
which you are
actually
sharing?
share
Can you
it.
go to that part, sir?
Like for example,
Like,
let me click on this. Okay, I will click on assign this homework or instructor led. So say for example, I will provide the deadline here. Say assign to any class. say deadline is 11th February, that is okay. There are other settings, for example, if there is a unlimited, how many attempts participants can do. If you want participants to have 2 attempts, you can do that. And you can
Excuse me,
click
sir.
on.
I want
Yeah.
to ask one question. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell
Sir,
me.
when we have created a question, then can we set the time limit in how much time the student has to give the answer for all the questions, or this is open at the any time they can take it?
See, that is something deadline as a date, it's already available here. In some cases, we have to see whether this particular online tool provides that facility or not. For example, there is a timer here. So you can see that, there is a timer, default timer. Participants can see the countdown and extra. So not this. So I think in this case, there is only deadline in option. We just saw it, right? So you can set the deadline here, but you are asking about the timelines, I think, like for example, whether it can
Yes,
be
I want to ask
open.
you how much time they should be given to attempt the all questions, because generally it happen if it is they are getting frantic of time, then they start sharing
Yes,
with the other
yes,
friends. I mean, just I
yes,
just
yes.
want to confirm that thing.
Yeah, that I have to check whether it is available here or not. In some tools, it is available. In this particular tool, I don't know. I have to check whether it is available or not. If it is there, then it is great. So we have to check the settings. So I'm not sure. I have not explored that part, but I think it's a no. If that option is there, maybe you should explore that. So I'll click on assign. Okay. So can you see this code here? You can see this
Yes, sir.
code here,
Yes, sir.
right? So this is the one you have to share, and all that you have to do is you have to ask the students to type joinmyquiz.com and enter this code here. That's all. And one thing, one great thing about this is later also I will show you. You can actually, so you were asking whether a link can be shared. Yes, this is the link. You can see this link here, copy link. I can click on this copy link and I can share this link with the participants. This is also possible. You can share the code, both options they have provided. Okay, and the best part is you can actually share it in Google Classroom. So I don't know whether you are using that. Later in our slides I will show. If you are using Google Classroom, you can share this as a quiz. Okay. So
Here
that's it about.
again,
Yeah,
in
tell
this
me.
case, we would be having two things what you have shared. That
Mhm.
is, either we can go live as we have shared the screen.
Correct,
That was
correct.
the live quiz, or we can
Yeah.
do it with the assignments.
Yes, absolutely. Both options they are providing. But the other question that someone asked, whether you can set a deadline, I mean timeline for each quiz, that is something that we have to explore. So in some cases, in some tools, online tools provide that. So I don't know whether this particular quizzes.com, whether they provide this facility or not. And in sometimes what happens is this is a free account that I have used. If there is an option of paid version of this paid subscription, in paid subscription what happens is you will get many more options, and it is not like it is too much of a that amount is quite, it's affordable, especially if as an institute, if you can take this online tool, it will be really helpful for all the faculty members. They might have something called team membership or something like that, or an institute membership. So it depends on tool to tool. Okay. So if you can get a paid membership, so see, for example, here I can see that this is a basic account. You can see this, right? Let me try to zoom this. Can you see this? This is a basic account that I have. So if I want to upgrade, I can upgrade to, they have something called super. I don't know what the super is. Okay, but I can, upgrade it so that I think I will get better features than whatever is having in the basic account. So that's about the quizzes.com. So let us move forward. So there are various other tools like this, online tools you can actually see. Discussion forum, I think, it does not require any explanation. You have been doing discussion, for example, this Teams chat itself can be a discussion forum. So when you are teaching to students, you can ask questions here and you can ask them to respond the answers for the questions that you have asked. So this is a way. There are also some free tools available. For example, there is something called so where is that? There's something called Piazza. So Piazza is an online tool for discussion forum. I will show it to you like how we have integrated with the our online tool, online learning, sorry, LMS. So let me. Okay, so this is the Piazza tool. This is a discussion forum online tool provider. So the one which I'm showing you here is the discussion forum that we have integrated with the learning management system, and it is for a particular course. It's for a course called marketing management, where there is a 8 weeks course. So you can see that I can go to week 1 and I have asked this question. Okay, I have asked some question here and students have responded here. Okay, you can see all the students respond, and for if the students have some response along with some questions, I can actually respond to that as well. Okay, I myself as a faculty, I can respond for the each reply that student has given. So the best part of this is you can ask very thought-provoking questions for every module that you have taught, and every student can actually see others' response. So this is a very good discussion forum. I will also show you some statistics and you will see, you can appreciate how well planned online tool it is. Okay, this is for question 1 of week 1. This is some discussion 2. Generally what I do is I'll mention the week 1, the discussion number, and I also mention the title of the. So for example, I have asked this question, do donations fall under marketing activity? So you can see a lot of responses from the students here, and other students can actually respond to the replies given by some other students. So this is how the tool looks. Now we will see the statistics part. I'll click on statistics and view statistics here. Can you see this? You can see how many users and how they have responded. Usage trends. For example, May 29th, how many people have actually accessed? There are 6 users. There are 10 users on June 26th. If you scroll down, you will be able to see everything. For example, who is the top contributor? You can see this learner has contributed 22 times and he was there for 17 days he was online. And you can see other details like who is the top student askers. Okay, this student has asked many questions, and you can also see the number of um, top students listeners. Like for example, this Purnima has asked 22 questions. So this is a very good tool that you can use. You can try out this. Let me not show because it will take time to show. So we have to cover a few other aspects as well. And you can see all the reports at once. Student participation report here. Okay, how many people were how many days the students were online? You can see that Anjali Gupta is the top and she was there online for 86 days. You can see that how many posts they have viewed. You can see how many contributions they have made. So this is a very interesting tool. If you have any doubt, you can ask me here. So this is the statistics of this particular course. Do you have any doubt with respect to this? It's called as Piazza. I'll share the piazza.com. So this is the sorry, this automatically goes to that class because I have already logged in. So I'll share this link with you. Yeah, in any case, I'm going to share the slide. You can actually see that. So if you have any doubts with respect to this Piazza tool, you can let me know. Any questions or any queries on this? Okay, can you respond if you are using any learning management system in your institute? Can you just respond by giving some responses? Which LMS are you using in case if you are using? Otherwise, if you are using things like Google Classroom, can you just type in and let me know? Okay, you use MS Teams. Yes, that is very good. So it has a lot of features. Any other? Anybody else?
So may I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Sir, during the peak of the COVID, at the time there were so many interactive sessions, and we learned about Kahoot, and there were so many things. I'm
Correct,
Google.
correct. Kahoot
Yeah,
is also one
there
of the
were Google
greatest tools.
Forms were there, Microsoft Forms were there. We used to create quizzes. So there are multiplicity of tools which are available. So which one do you think is the best one that we should continue with?
See, there
Is
is
there
no
a specific difference?
see there is no right or wrong answer for that. I mean, if you ask me which is the best, I think only if you explore the various tools you will come to know. So I sorry to interrupt you. You were asking some more questions, so you can continue. Tell me.
No, it's fine, sir. You can continue to answer.
Yeah, so there are two ways to look at it. One is you can explore and figure out which one is used. The way I look at it is I will see the user experience when both for a creator and for the learner. For example, I found that quizzes.com is quite interesting because it was very easy for me to create the question, and also it was easy for me to share, and also from a student point of view it was very easy for me to attempt the quiz. Right, all that I had to do is I just had to go to joinquiz.com, and then I had to enter the code. I, as a learner or a student, I did not have to log in. Okay, so for me, user friendliness is the criteria. For other faculty members, something else might be the criteria. For example, somebody was asking reports. For most faculty, I think reports is something that you might be looking forward, and you might want to use a tool which provides a very comprehensive report like the one which I showed now for the Piazza, right? So I think it depends on what is your criteria for selecting the tool. So for example, later I will show, I mean, if time permits, we use, I kind of enjoyed something called Canvas, which is a where you can create the entire course with anybody's help. You can create a course which has announcements, discussion, quiz, assessments. You can provide links, additional materials, everything in one place. So I found that as a online learning management system quite useful, but there are other tools as well. So we will come to that little later. Yes, the point is it all depends on what is the criteria that you follow. Is it the user friendliness, or is it the reports that you want, or you want both? So I think this is the way I select. So hope I answered your question. Any other doubts?
Yes, sir, that's fine. Because when I used Google Classroom, this is just a part of discussion as you are a teacher also and you're expecting some responses. So that's why I'm continuing with this discussion.
Okay. No, I see. And
When I
one
used
more
this,
criteria. So sorry. Go ahead.
so actually I experienced with the Google Classroom. So there I found reports and sharing the link. No doubt the login part is there, but I think as a teacher, when you are putting efforts, you want to retain the content or the quizzes that you are sharing with the students for future use as well. So
Correct.
in case of without login, can we
Mhm.
retain that part?
It again depends on the quiz. Sorry, it depends on the tool. Say for example, Piazza that I showed here. Okay, so that is a course that we did long back. It's almost a year back, and I can see the reports even now. So in some cases, probably the tool might not allow you to retain the reports forever. Okay, so it might it depends on the tool to tool. So yes, you have to think of all the criteria. For example, you can list down all the criteria. For example, when you are selecting a tool, you can look at these 4 criteria: reports, retaining the reports, user friendliness, easy sharing, and whether you can integrate with your learning management system. That is another thing. For example, in many cases, in many tools can be integrated with Google Classroom. For example, the quizzes that I showed, that can be integrated. The Miro that I showed, I think that also can be integrated with Google Classroom. So you have to see what all criteria is priority for you, and then you can select. And maybe if some online tool doesn't allow you to retain the grade reports, then I think that might not be a great one. In such cases, probably you will have to manually store such records.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so we will move forward. I think we don't have too much time, but I have a lot of things to cover. So I'll just mention, because of the lack of time, I might not be able to cover a lot of things. Polls, we already saw Mentimeter. You can explore that. It's quite very easy and easy to share also. You can just ask the students to go to menti.com and share the code. There is also simulation. Simulation is something really important. The reason is, for example, in some subjects.
So your screen is again not visible to us.
Oh, sorry. I'm really sorry. You can see now, right? Yeah. So simulation is something I prefer because it gives an in-depth understanding of the subject. There are some simulations which are provided by some top universities and some top corporates. Some are free and some are not free. So for example, there are some subjects where it is only through simulation you can learn. For example, see, I have shown here that it is simulation based learning is most useful for subjects like aviation or manufacturing or or medical or something like that. So there are some simulation providers. For example, MIT provides. So I have given a, I have shared the taken a screenshot. This is a MIT's simulation here. You can also take this simulation and or you can administer this simulation. You can share it with the learners. For example, how it works is, so this is a simulation on project management, for example. Okay, so what I will do is, I will have to, this is based on project management. There are 2 phases here, phase 1 and phase 2. Probably they're asking which, how to increase the speed of the project and reduce the revenue. So I will have to input here, here, here. For example, I can increase the speed here, accelerate the work, okay, by 20%. And I can add new features. The moment I input here, what happens is automatically this will increase. Estimated revenue increases. Okay. Estimated revenue loss also will show here, and estimated time saved also shows here. This is a very good simulation created by MIT. So you can see the logo here. I will share the, I'm going to share the link of that. There are some simulation. It is not there for all the subjects, but there are some really good simulation provided. So let me discard this. You can see this. You can actually, after this class, you can actually go through this. I will share this. Sorry. So I'm sharing this in the chat as well. So this is a, this is a very good simulation, MIT has developed. You can actually see there are also some other, other companies that provide business simulation or management simulation or management subjects or other subjects. For example, economics or science or mathematics. They provide simulation. For example, there is a company called Nolscape. Okay, so they provide this, but you will have to partner with them as an institute. Otherwise, if you don't have that facility, the link I have shared, you can actually try out this. This is a very good tool. So especially in this, so let me open this. There is one case study which I really liked. I want to show that. So if you go to this MIT.com, MIT Sloan dot this one. So there is this case study, or sorry, not a case study. There's this simulation called Clean Start, simulating a clean energy startup. Please try this. This is a very nice case study. Sorry, very nice simulation. And all that you have to do is you just have to come here, click on play simulation. It will ask for some screen name you can just give. So for example, it will give options whether you want to play as an individual or you want to administer an existing class. You can explore this part. You can click on play as an individual and give some screen name. For example, I will 101. I can click on login and it will allow me to enter that simulation. Okay, I want you to try this. So I'm not going in depth. So I want you to try this. So this is a very good simulation. I will share this link here. Please try this whenever you're free or maybe after the class. So that's about the simulation. And finally, we have in-video quiz. In-video quiz, we have various tools. One is called as h5p.com or h5p.org. You can explore that. But in addition to that, there is also something called Ed Puzzle. So you can see this Ed Puzzle, right? So let me show that here. So this is a way to interact or create an interactive tool within a tool within a video. For example, so let me open this. It's already open. For example, this is a video here. I want to provide a question or I want to crop this video. So you can definitely see that that crop option is available. Or if you want, you can come here and ask some questions. So it will be kind of an in-video quiz. Say, for example, I will come here, click on questions. I will add multiple choice and I will provide whatever questions I want to ask. For example, ID is very important or online. So I'll just give true or false, and then I will say which one is correct. I will click on save. OK, and then I will click on finish. So you will see that at this point, OK, at this point, you can see this, right? At this point, learners will be able to see the question. OK, and also at the end, see, this is the multiple choice question. When the video is going in between, it stops and it will ask this question. So you as a learner can click on this and submit this. OK, so it will also give the score 100 out of 100, something like that. So this is one way to create in video quiz, but there are other tools as well. For example, there is a tool called an online tool called h5p.org. So you can explore other online tools. So these are some of the learner engagement tools that I wanted to share. I think it's almost time up now, so I don't think I'll be able to show many other things. Two other important areas that I wanted to cover was content curation or course building. So because of lack of time, I'm not showing that. So since some of you are already aware, there's something called Google Classroom you can explore. I'll just show quickly how it is, how it looks. So this is the Google Classroom and I've created one class here. I'll click on this class and I can share. You can see that I have created various topic here: agenda, online teaching, learner engagement, and I can share it with the class here. OK, I can share it with the class and everybody in the classroom can actually see this. So this is Google Classroom. Another last one that I wanted to show is Canvas. canvas.instructure.com is a great way to create a course which has all elements in one place. For example, I have created this. This is an instructional design course that I've created. All that I've done is I've given various various ways to learn. For example, here I've created ID. There is some practice quiz. Again, I've created I've uploaded some PDF. You can add your own video. On left hand side, you can see that you can provide announcements, assignments. Okay, everything is available in one area. So this is kind of a similar to Google Classroom, and you can share it with the students. So that's all from my side. I think no, with this limited time, this is all I could cover. Um, so if you have any questions, you can ask me. So
Sir, I have a question.
yes, please.
Monica, sir, you were sharing about some other quiz formats or quiz platforms where we can have time-bound, time-bound quiz attempts, like
Correct.
fault timer. Can you share the names of such quiz platforms besides the
I
quizzes?
will do
Because
that.
that, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll maybe what I'll do is, I have some list of tools that is, that is saved somewhere in my system. I will share share that. Along with this, I will share the slide also. Along with this, I have some tools, list of tools that you can explore, which has list of tools for interactivity, list of tools for discussion, and list of tools for in-video quiz and things like that. So I will share that.
Right, sir. And hopefully we'll also have the link for this canvas that you were sharing just now.
Yeah, I'll
Link
share
for
that.
this.
It's yeah. I will share that. But only thing is, Canvas, there is some see, when you go to Canvas, what happens is they have 2 to 3 different types of accounts. One is for teachers, it is free, but for other individuals, you will have to pay. So what you can do is you can actually join, create a account as teachers. So and as a teacher account, you have lot of, see, somebody has already shared, so that is correct. So that's the link. You can actually create lot of things, but if you want to make the course public, you'll have to reach out to them for the first time. Only then you will be able to share it with students. So I think Canvas is one of the best recent LMS I have explored. Any other thing, any other queries that you have? Sorry, I'm not able to cover entire thing. I thought within 2 hours I'll be able to cover a lot more things, but I think it took more time than I expected. So any queries you can ask me, or if you have queries later also, you can reach out to me. I'll share my email ID here in the chat. So I've shared my email ID. So if you have any queries, you can reach out to me through email. Yeah, so that's all from my side. Dr. Minu, I think it's time now. So if I can take 1 or 2 questions if you have.
The participants, if you have any questions. I think no more questions,
okay, no
sir.
questions. I think everyone are hungry. So yeah. So I think let's call it a day. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And I will share the slides, and I'll also share the links that I have showed during this session. I'll mention it in the slides also, and then you can reach out to me if you have any doubts.
Okay, I'll invite Dr. Priya for the formal vote of thanks, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone, to the one and all present here. Honorable Speaker for the day, Mr. Girish, respected Principal Professor Vishal Kumar, and all the participants. It is such an honor for me to get the opportunity to thank you all. On behalf of Aurobindo College of Commerce and Management, I, Dr. Priya Manchanda, take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this faculty development program. At the outset, I thank our Chief Guest and Resource Person, Mr. Girish. Thank you, sir, for your very interesting and thought-provoking address on the topic learners' engagement and assessment. You are an exemplary person, and we have a lot to learn from you. We are really
Thank you so
enlightened with
much.
your knowledge and presence. We are thankful to our Honorable Principal, Professor Vishal Kumar, for their motivation. Thank you, sir, for assisting and encouraging all of us. A special thanks to the members of RFTC and IQAC and the members of the faculty for their unflinching support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to our participants for active participation. With this warm words and a kind message, we move to the end of today's webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Vishal and team, and thank
Thank
you,
you.
Dr.
Thank you,
Minu,
sir.
and thanks, Dr. Priya, and thanks all the participants for patiently listening to me for 2 hours continuously. Yeah, maybe probably next time we should have a break in between. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
Thank you
much,
so
sir.
much,
It
Girish
was
sir. It
indeed
was
very
indeed a
insightful and
wonderful.
very informative session. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Thanks. Bye. Take care. Bye bye.
You too take care, sir. Thanks. Okay.